All right, breaking mother humping news, and the Dallas Cowboys still stink. But that's not breaking news. We've known that forever. The breaking news, however, of course it happens right before I'm about to upload. However, it does fit part of what we're going to talk about today. So, Dave Zagaro is saying this. The Eagles are bringing back offensive lineman Matt Pryor on a one-year deal. A league source confirms the report from Jeff McClain. Pryor, 30, was an Eagles draft pick in 2018 and has played in 92 NFL games with 39 starts. We remember Matt Pryor. He could play multiple positions, and obviously the Eagles are worried about the depth of the offensive line. Pryor may not even end up making the 53-man roster when it's said and done. However, it does show you with them bringing him in, the guys they've brought in for visits, offensive line is definitely got to get better depth-wise. Now, let's start this video. If Dallas Goedert's going to get traded anywhere, it looks like it could be the Chargers. Dallas still stinks. Kick Dingbat here. What an interesting time of year. You got the Giants trying to win games to save their GM's life. You got the Commanders thinking that they've arrived. And then you got the Dallas Cowboys who are about to blow up the whole damn thing if they're smart. And then you got the Super Bowl champs. That's right. The Super Bowl champs getting ready to make another run. And we've got a lot of unanswered questions heading into the draft with this team. To me, the Dallas Goedert situation, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, we got to wonder what the hell's going on there. Then, I still think you need a safety. I think if you looked at one position on this team that needs in desperate need of a starter, that safety position, even more so than that cornerback position. Can the Eagles trade Bryce Huff? Who knows? Who the hell knows? And then, what are they going to do in the draft? I said this, and I'm going to say this again. I believe, and I'm on record for saying, I believe the Eagles are trading up. I believe the Eagles want to move up in this draft. I think the Eagles like moving up in the first round and going and getting their guys. I think the approach and the philosophy is if we like a guy and he's there, we're going to have to go up and get him because we're usually too good to just sit there and wait. And they don't sit there and wait. Look at all the first rounds in recent histories that they have traded up for, okay? It happens. Devontae Smith, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, okay? These guys were all guys that they had to trade up for. I think the Eagles will trade up again. Now, nothing is set in stone. We'll have to see how the draft falls. I mean, if you look at the draft and where the Eagles are going to go position-wise, it could be a lot of places, right? Safety is where I hope it works out because I think that's the biggest hole on your team. Number two, the edge rusher may be where you have to go because it may be the best player on the board. Tight end if you go out and you trade Dallas Goedert. And then the other spot is possibly offensive lineman. We've got to consider that the Eagles could go offensive lineman early in this draft. I don't necessarily know that they'll do it in the first round, but I think the Eagles are looking at offensive linemen probably more for like second, third round type spot. But if you look, the Eagles they're hosting another offensive lineman. Eagles to host Ohio State offensive lineman pre-draft, okay? The Eagles will soon be hosting Ohio State offensive lineman Donovan Jackson at the NovaCare Complex. Jackson is the number 67th ranked prospect by Pro Football Focus and 31 ranked by Daniel Jeremiah. Okay, so if you look at the Eagles and tracking their draft visits so far, they've had 6 offensive linemen come in for a visit out of 11 players. So half of their visits have been offensive linemen. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be in the first round. I'm not saying it's going to be the first round. But they're obviously looking for an offensive lineman. Some of these guys can play both offensive tackle and guard. Are they looking for a guy maybe to play guard for a year or two and then kick out to right tackle. Who knows? But obviously, they're looking for a talented guy to come in and be developed by Stoutland, and that's the advantage of Stoutland. I don't think, teams can get away with the depth at offensive line that we can because of Stoutland. He develops talent, so we got to really look at the whole offensive line position and say this could be a place where the Eagles go. It's not a bad idea either. If they took an offensive lineman like in the second round, third round, I wouldn't be upset at all. Not at all. You got one of the great offensive lines, I think, in recent history. Actually, I'll be quite honest with you. I think the Eagles have the best offensive line since the 90s Cowboys. I truly believe that. I think that their offensive line is that good. And you got to continue to keep it stocked, let it have depth, and keep it going. So, so far, when you look at it, like I said, here are the prospects that they had visit, right? Donovan Jackson, offensive guard. Offensive tackle, Charles Grant from William and Mary. Then Jaden Blue, the running back. We talked about him yesterday. Miami edge, Tyler Barron. Boston College edge, Donovan, I can't say his last name. I'm not going to try. SMU edge, Elijah Roberts. Kentucky cornerback, Maxwell Hairston. That's an interesting one. And then all offensive linemen. Oregon offensive tackle, Josh Connerly. Purdue, Marcus Mabo. North Carolina State, Anthony Belton. And then Iowa State, Jalen Travis. So Eagles, they're looking at offensive linemen early in this draft. And I'm expecting by the third round for them to have at least one offensive lineman that they drafted. It just seems like it's going to go that way. But, we'll have to see how everything falls. Now, one of the positions that they definitely, I think, have to go in this draft, whether it's early or mid-rounds or something, they've got to get themselves another tight end, especially when you're ready and looking to get rid of Dallas Goedert, right? There's still the possibility that the Eagles could go out and trade Dallas Goedert. The question is where's he going to go? Where are you going to trade Dallas Goedert to? And there was Ian Valentino proposed 4 trades before the 2025 draft. And one of those trades that he talked about was Dallas Goedert and him going to the Chargers. It seems like if there was any team that is like the number one contender to get Dallas Goedert, it seems like it may be the Chargers. It seems like it makes the most sense. He proposed that the Eagles would trade Dallas Goedert for the number 158th pick and the 209th pick overall. That's a 5th and 6th round pick, okay? So the Eagles want a 4th. They would be getting a 5th and a 6th round pick for Dallas Goedert. Now, you take Dallas Goedert off this team, you've got a giant hole at tight end. The question you got to ask yourself, is it really worth it for a 5th and 6th round pick? And you know what? The Eagles, for them, they may wait and see what they do early in this draft to get a tight end. There are a couple tight ends, obviously. Like I said this before, if Tyler Warren fell past 15, like if he doesn't go in the top 15 and he starts to fall like 17, 18, I think if you're the Eagles, you need to start trying to move up and get him. If possible. I think it would be very hard and very unlikely. But there are tight ends in this draft. I kind of don't want the Eagles, unless it's Warren, to go tight end in round 1. I really don't. I really want the Eagles to go either edge rusher or safety. Me, I prefer to have them go safety. Like I said before, I want a guy that can come in and play right away. I want starter out of this round 1. I want a guy that comes in and plays and develops all year. We had so much success with it with Q. What the hell is going on outside? It's like a war zone out there. But we've had success with Q, with Coop. Why change things up? Get another young guy to come in here and let him play. That's how I see it. But you've also got to consider the best player available. If the best player available is a pass rusher, then take him. So we'll see. I mean, my hope at the end of the day with Dallas Goedert is that they keep him one more year. I don't know. Give him restructure his deal so he gets more, upfront money or something. Make him happy for one more year, and then let him go at the end of the year. Meanwhile, you still draft a tight end. Maybe you take a guy in the second round or the third round, and then you develop him for a year behind Goedert, and then let him go. That, to me, just seems like the easiest, smoothest way to do things. It just does. Now, will the Eagles go about that? I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to see. But if I'm the Eagles, and that's the way it is, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to try to keep Goedert. I don't like creating holes, pause, no diddy, where there doesn't need to be one. Like, this is why I have problems with the C.J. Gardner-Johnson trade, because you would have had him one more year and then you could have let him go. I would have understood it. But instead, you did it a year too early. So my hope is that Goedert stays, but I don't know. I got to tell you, it doesn't sound like it's going to happen. And this trade, a fifth and a sixth, seems like something that could happen. So I think, and I would say that this proposed trade is very real possibility. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. So just a quick reminder that right now, the Jalen Hurts Main Thing shirts, MVP, they are flying right now. We just got some more t-shirts in. We still have hoodies. We also got the premium one. Everybody's been liking that. So I just want to let you guys know, in the description, if you're down, if you want to get this piece of history, you still have time because they're still available, and definitely don't miss out. These are my favorite merchandise that we have done. And listen, I haven't even got mine yet. Okay, because they've been going so fast with people buying them that I haven't even got mine yet. I'm gonna have to wait, but everybody loves it, so check it out. Denzel Washington, out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.